Now we go for problems in fluid properties. The problem: calculate the specific weight, density, and the specific gravity of 1 liter of a liquid which weigh 7 Newton. 1 liter is equal to 1 divided by 1000 meter cube, or 1 liter is equal to 1000 centimeter cube. So volume is equal to 1 liter is equal to 1 divided by 1000 meter cube. So weight is equal to 7 Newton. We have to find the first one, specific weight. So specific weight is equal to ratio of weight divided by volume is equal to 7 Newton divided by 1 divided by 1000 meter cube. Therefore 7000 Newton per meter cube. The second one, density, rho. Specific weight divided by gravity. So specific weight is equal to 7000 divided by gravity is equal to 9.81 kg per meter cube is equal to 713.5 kg per meter cube. The third one, specific gravity. Density of liquid divided by density of water. So density of liquid is equal to 713.5 divided by density of water is equal to 1000. Therefore the answer is 0.7135. The next, beyond force. When a body is immersed in a fluid, there is tendency of fluid to exert force on the submerged body. This upward force is same as weight of fluid displaced by the body is known as force of buoyancy. The next one, moment of force in fluid. For an element of fluid at rest, the element will be in equilibrium. The sum of the components of force in any direction will be 0. The sum of moments of force on the element about any point must be 0. Next, stability of unconstrained submerged bodies in fluid. The equilibrium of a body submerged in a liquid requires that a weight of the body acting through its center of gravity should be collinear with an equal hydrostatic lift acting through the center of buoyancy. Depending upon the relative location of G and B, G for center of gravity and B for center of buoyancy, a floating or submerged body attains 3 different states of equilibrium. Let us suppose that a body is given a small angular displacement and then released, then it will be said to be in stable equilibrium. If the body returns to its original position by retaining the originally vertical axis as vertical, it's called stable equilibrium. Unstable equilibrium. If the body does not return to its original position but moves further from it, it's called unstable equilibrium. Neutral equilibrium. If the body neither returns to its original positions nor increases its displacement further, it will simply adopt its new positions. It's called a neutral equilibrium. Stable equilibrium. Example, consider a submerged body in equilibrium whose center of gravity is located below the center of buoyancy. Refer figure. If the body is shuttled slightly in any direction, the buoyant force and the weight always produce a restoring couple trying to return to the body its original position. Unstable equilibrium. On the other hand, if point G is above point B, any disturbance from the equilibrium position will create a destroying couple which will turn the body away from its original position. Neutral equilibrium. When the center of gravity G and the center of buoyancy B coincides, the body will always assume the same position in which it is placed and hence it is in neutral equilibrium. Stability of floating bodies in fluid. When the body undergoes an angular displacement about a horizontal axis, the shape of the immersed volume changes and so the center of buoyancy moves relative to the body. As a result of above observation, stable equilibrium can be achieved under certain conditions even when G is above B. Movement in water. The movement of liquids and gases is generally referred to as flow, a concept that describes flow, how fluids behave and how they interact with their surrounding environment. For example, water moving through a channel or pipe or over a surface, flow can be either steady or unsteady. Newton's law of viscosity. It states that shear stress on a fluid element layer is directly proportional to the rate of shear strain. The constant of proportionality is called coefficient of viscosity. The mathematical expression tau is equal to mu du by dy. Fluid which obey the above relations are known as Newtonian fluid, and the fluid which do not obey the above relations are called non-Newtonian fluids. So, problem in Newtonian and non-Newtonian fluids. If the velocity profile of a fluid over a plate parabolic with the vertex 20 cm from the plate, where the velocity is 120 cm per second, calculate the velocity gradient and shear stress at a distance of 0, 10 and 20 cm from the plate. If the viscosity of the fluid is 8.5 points, the given in the problem is distance of vertex from plate is equal to 20 cm. Refer the diagram. Then velocity at vertex u is equal to 120 cm per second. Then viscosity mu is equal to 8.5 points. In terms of 8.5 divided by 10 Newton second per meter square is equal to 0.85. The velocity profile is given parabolic, and the equation of velocity profile is u is equal to a y square plus by plus c, where a, b and c are constant. The values are determined from the boundary conditions. In figure A, equation A, at y is equal to 0, u is equal to 0. The second one B, at y is equal to 20 cm, u is equal to 120 cm per second. At C, at y is equal to 20 cm, du by dy is equal to 0. Substitute the boundary condition A in equation 1, we get C is equal to 0. Because of y is equal to 0, u is equal to 0. Substituting equation 1, u is equal to a y square plus by is plus c. So, you substitute the value y is equal to 0 and u is equal to 0. So, therefore, c is equal to 0. Boundary condition B on substitution in equation 1. So, u is equal to 120 cm per second is equal to a y square. Y is equal to 20 cm. So, 20 square plus b 20 is equal to 400a plus 20b. Boundary condition C on substitution in equation 1, we get du divided by dy is equal to 2ay plus b. So, du dy is equal to 0 is equal to 2ay, y is equal to 20 cm plus b. Therefore, 0 is equal to 2 into a into 20 plus b is equal to 40a plus b. Solving the equation 2 and 3 for a and b from equation 3. So, b is equal to minus 40a. Substituting the value in equation 2, we get, so 120 is equal to, so 400a plus 20 into minus 40a is equal to 400a minus 80a is equal to minus 400a. So, therefore, a is equal to 120 divided by minus 400 is equal to minus 3 divided by 10 is equal to minus 0.3. So, a value is equal to minus 0.3. Then b value is equal to 12. Substitute the value a, b and c in equation 1. U is equal to minus 0.3 y square plus 12y, c is equal to 0. The velocity gradient du by dy is equal to minus 0.3 into 2y plus 12. Therefore, is equal to minus 0.6y plus 12. The velocity gradient at y is equal to 0. Y is equal to 0. Therefore, du divided by dy is equal to minus 0.6 into 0 plus 12 is equal to 12 per second. So y is equal to 10 centimeter. Therefore, du by dy is equal to minus 0.6 into 10 plus 12 is equal to 6 per second. At y is equal to 20 centimeter, du divided by dy is equal to minus 0.6 into 20 plus 12 is equal to 0 per second. Now shear stress. So shear stress is given by tau is equal to mu into du by dy. Shear stress at y is equal to 0, tau is equal to mu du by dy is equal to 0.85 into 12 is equal to 10.2 Newton per meter square. Shear stress at y is equal to 10, tau is equal to mu du by dy is equal to 0.85 into 6 is equal to 5.1 Newton per meter square. Shear stress at y is equal to 20, therefore tau is equal to mu du divided by dy is equal to 0.85 into 0 is equal to 0. The another problem, find the kinematic viscosity of an oil having density 981 kg per meter cube. The shear stress at a point in oil is 0.2452 Newton per meter square and the velocity gradient at that point is 0.2 per second. Solution, the given in the problem is mass density rho is equal to 981 kg per meter cube. Shear stress tau is equal to 0.2452 Newton per meter square. The velocity gradient du divided by dy is equal to 0.2 second. We have to find shear stress is equal to mu du divided by dy or 0.2452 is equal to mu into 0.2. So therefore mu is equal to 0.2452 divided by 0.2 is equal to 1.226 Newton second per meter square. The kinematic viscosity mu is equal to mu divided by rho. So mu is equal to 1.226 divided by density 981 is equal to 0.125 into 10 to the power minus 2 meter square per seconds. So therefore 0.125 into 10 to the power minus 2 into 10 to the power 4 centimeter square per second is equal to 0.125 into 10 to the power square centimeter square per second. 1 centimeter square per second is equal to stroke. The answer is 12.5 stroke. Next, Euler equation. This equation of motion in which the force due to gravity and pressure are taken into consideration. This is derived by considering the motion of fluid element along a streamline. Consider a streamline in which flow is taking place in S direction as shown in figure. Consider a cylindrical element of cross section dA and length ds. The force acting on the cylindrical element are the first force, pressure force P dA in the direction of flow, refer in figure A and B. The second one, pressure force P plus dou P divided by dou X into dx ds whole bracket dA opposite to the direction of flow. The third one, weight of element rho g dA ds. Let theta is angle between direction of flow and the line of action of the weight of element, refer figure B. The resultant force on the fluid element in the direction of S must be equal to the mass of fluid element into acceleration in the direction S. So P dA is equal to B dA minus bracket P plus dou P divided by dou S ds into dA minus rho g dA into ds into cos theta. So therefore is equal to rho dA into ds into as. So as is the acceleration in the direction of s. So as is equal to dB divided by dt, where v is the function of s and t. Therefore is equal to dou v divided by dou s into ds divided by dt plus dou v divided by dou t is equal to, note ds divided by dt is equal to v. So therefore v dv divided by ds, v dou v divided by dou s plus dou v divided by dou t. If flow is steady, dou v divided by dou t is equal to 0. So as is equal to v dou v divided by dou s. Substitute the value of as in equation 6.2 and simply the equation we get minus dou p divided by dou s ds into dA minus rho g dA into ds into cos theta is equal to rho dA into ds into dou v divided by dou s. Dividing by rho dou s into ds into dA minus dou p divided by rho ds dou s minus g cos theta is equal to v dou v divided by dou s. From the equation from figure point 1 p, we have to cos theta is equal to dz divided by ds. Therefore 1 by rho dp divided by ds plus g dz divided by ds plus b dv by ds is equal to 0. Therefore dp divided by rho plus g dz plus v dv is equal to 0 is known as Euler equation of motion. Next, Navier-Stokes equation. Navier-Stokes equation in fluid mechanics, a partial differential equation that describes the flow of incompressible fluids. The equation is a generalization of the equation devised by Swiss mathematicians Leonhard Euler in the 18th century to describe the flow of incompressible and frictionless fluid. So Navier-Stokes equation is use of the design of aircraft and cars, study of blood flow, the design of power stations, analysis of pollutions. This area will be helped to with the help of Navier-Stokes equations. So Navier-Stokes equation of motion, as per the discussion, the fluid element is acted upon by gravity force, pressure force and viscous force is in the case of Navier-Stokes equations. Intensities of hydrostatic pressure cause pressure force to act on a body and fluid element. The tangential stresses arise during the motion of fluid due to viscosity of real fluid. Self-weight of fluid induce gravity force into the element of fluid. Consider an elementary small mass of fluid of size dx, dy, dz in x, y and z, three directions respectively as shown in figure. The pressure force on the face ABCD is equal to P dx into dy. Pressure force on the face EFGH P plus dou P divided by dou x into dx into dy dz. Hence, net pressure force in x direction is equal to P dx into dy, P plus dou P divided by dou x into dx into dy dz is equal to dou P divided by dou x dx into dy into dz. Let R is the body force per unit mass of fluid having components x, capital Y, capital Z in the x, y, z directions respectively. Therefore, the body force acting on the element of fluid in the capital X direction will be x be dx dy dz. Let Tx, Ty, Tz are component of CS force in xy z direction. The total force is equal to mass into acceleration. So x rho Tx dy dz dou p divided by dou x into dx dy dz minus Tx is equal to rho dx dy dz into du by dt. Shear stress caused due to viscosity on particle surface, particular surface, equal to the rate of change of velocity in direction normal to the surface. So R is equal to mu dv divided by dn. Let us consider any two faces of parallel pipe, say ABCD and EFGH. The shear force acting on face ABCD mu dy dz into du by dx. The shear force acting on a face EFGH mu into dy into dz into dou u by dou x plus dou square u divided by dou x square into dx. The net shear force along x-axis faces ABCD and EFGH is equal to minus mu dou square u by divided by dou x square into dx dy dz. The total viscous resistance parallel to x-axis on the all 6 faces of the element is given by sum of equation 2, 3, 4. So Tx is equal to minus mu dou square u divided by dou x square plus dou square u divided by dou y square plus dou square u divided by dou z square into dx dy dz. Similarly for Ty and Tz are Ty is equal to minus u bracket of dou square v divided by dou x square plus dou square v divided by dou y square plus dou square v divided by dou z square into dx dy dz. Similarly, Tz is equal to minus u dou square w divided by dou x square plus dou square w divided by dou y square plus dou square w divided by dou z square into dy dx dy dz. Similarly, x components of shear force on face BCFG is equal to mu dx dy into du by dou u by dou z. The x components of shear force on face ADEH is equal to mu dx into dy into dou u divided by dou z plus dou square u by dou z square until dz. The net x components of shear force on BCFG and ADEG is equal to minus u dou square u divided by dou z square into dx dy dz. Similarly, net x components of the shear force on face CDEF and ABGH is minus u dou square u divided by dou y square into dx dy dz. Substituting the values of Tx in equation 1, we get dx into dy into dz is equal to rho dx into dy into dz into du divided by dt. Dividing throughout by rho dx dy dz, we get x minus mu divided by rho dou p divided by dou x is equal to du divided by dt minus v bracket dou square u divided by dou x square plus dou square u divided by dou y square plus dou square u divided by dou z square. So note mu divided by rho is equal to v. Similarly for x, similarly for y and z directions, y minus y is equal to mu divided by rho dou p divided by dou x is equal to du divided by dt minus v bracket dou square v divided by dou x square plus dou square v divided by dou y square plus dou square v into divided by dou z square. Z is equal to rho minus rho divided by mu divided by rho into dou p divided by dou x is equal to du divided by dt minus v bracket dou square w divided by dou x square plus dou square w divided by dou y square plus dou square w divided by dou z square. It's Navier-Stokes equations. The Navier-Stokes equations, with the help of the following areas, we have to use the design of aircraft and cars, study of fluid, blood flow, the design of power stations, analysis of pollution. So next, viscoelasticity. All viscous liquids deform continuously under the influence of an applied stresses. They exhibit viscous behavior. Solids deform under an applied stress, but soon reach a position of equilibrium in which further deformation cases, if the stress is removed, they recover their original shape. They exhibit elastic behavior. Viscoelasticity, fluids can exhibit both viscosity and elasticity depending on the conditions. In diagram, viscous fluid, furtherly viscoelasticity fluid and elastic solid. The next topic, laminar flow and turbulent flow. So laminar flow, the fluid flow in which the adjacent layer of the fluid do not mix with each other and moves parallel to each other, is called a laminar flow. In the laminar flow, the fluid layer moves in straight line. The laminar flow always occurs when the fluid flow with low velocity and in small diameter pipes. The fluid flow having Reynolds number less than 2000 is called a laminar flow. The fluid flow is very orderly. There is no mixing of adjacent layer of the fluid and they move parallel to each other and also with the walls of the pipe. Shear stress in laminar flow depends only on the viscosity of the fluid and independent of the density. This is called a laminar flow. It's a smooth flow, it's a steady flow, it's called a laminar flow. There is no mixing the adjacent layer of the fluid. That's called a laminar flow. The next one, turbulent flow. Turbulent flow is different in a laminar flow. The fluid flow in which the adjacent layer of the fluid cross each other and do not move parallel to each other is called a turbulent flow. The turbulent flow, the fluid layer do not move in straight line. They move randomly in zigzag manner. The turbulent flow occurs when the velocity of the fluid is high and its flow through larger diameter pipes. The fluid flow having Reynolds number greater than 4000 is called a turbulent flow. The fluid does not flow in definite order. There is a mixing of different layers and they do not move parallel to each other but cross each other. The shear stress in turbulent flow depends upon its density. So where Reynolds number Nr is equal to V into D into rho divided by efficiency is equal to Vd divided by small v. So where Nr is equal to Reynolds number, V is equal to velocity of flow meter per second, D is equal to diameter of the pipe meter, density water, rho is equal to density of water kg per meter cube, efficiency is equal to dynamic viscosity kg per meter second is equal to dynamic viscosity meter square per second, where units are considered Nr is dimensionless. Note Reynolds number directly proportional to velocity and inversely proportional to viscosity. So Nr, Reynolds number less than 2000, it's called as laminar flow. Reynolds number greater than 4000, it's named as turbulent flow. For 2000, less than Reynolds number, less than 4000, transition region or critical regions. The Reynolds number between the 2000 to 4000, its region is transition region or critical regions. Flow can either be laminar or laminar of turbulent, difficult to pin down exactly. More viscous fluid will tend to have laminar flow or lower Reynolds numbers. So Reynolds number for some real life examples, blood flow in brain 100, blood flow in aorta thousands. So typical pitch in major league baseball is equal to 2 lakhs. So blue whale swimming is equal to 30 crores. Thank you. Students, please use this presentation and take notes for further reference. Thank you.